Good afternoon, folks. Coming to you live with tips from the truck. David Beers here, owner of 39 Minute Workout and Wellness. So today I want to talk about one of the top 3 reasons people don't work out, and that's pretty much money, time, and pain. And today I want to discuss pain because as a trainer and also as an acupuncturist, I think it's probably the biggest legitimate reason that stops people from either working out or continuing a workout plan. And I really want to help you change that if that's you. Because pain really shouldn't stop you from exercising. Okay, so let's demystify pain a little bit. Let's talk about how to understand it better. Let's put a little perspective on pain so that maybe you have a little more of a healthy approach towards it. And hopefully you'll leave with some tools that will help you if you're too scared to get working out because of pain, or if you started a program but then backed off because of pain. Okay, so let's start with, and I have notes for this because this is a little more detailed talk than normal, and I've done this for my clients, all my clients at 39 Minute Workout, but also for those of you at home who are not members. I'm doing it for everybody because a lot of my clients are just going to deal with this kind of stuff. I work with real men and women, people who aren't 15 years old, people who, the reality is I've been doing this for 8 years and I've been in acupuncture since 2004, and shit happens. People have pain. So it's such a big issue, and I'd love to help you have a healthier perspective with it. So let's start with number 1. I would say quitting is an awful big reason. When people have pain, it's very common for them to quit or want to quit working out. And this happens with all sorts of routines. You start a fitness program, you have some pain in your shoulder or your low back, and you go, oh my God, I better quit. Or a doctor tells you to quit because you should do something safer, in quotes. And we'll address some of the good and bad advice coming out of the medical and alternative medical communities around pain later on. But quitting exercise because you have pain is a little bit like quitting your job because you had a bad week. It is a really strange response to pain, in my opinion. If you were at work and your boss was annoying you and you were having trouble communicating with colleagues for, let's say, a week or two, and just the work you were trying to put out just didn't flow, it was just not working well, would you quit your job? Unless you hate your job, I hope not, right? I mean, we hit trouble in other areas of our life and we don't freak out and try to throw the baby out with the bathwater. But for some reason, pain is such a loaded topic for people that, and frankly, there's tons and tons of just bad advice out there around pain, that when people run into having physical pain in the face of exercise, oh my God, I better quit. It's wrong for me. And I'm going to talk to you about one of my least favorite phrases. And honestly, a lot of people in my field will say this phrase too: if it hurts, don't do it. I'm going to tell you why I'm one of the few practitioners you're going to hear who thinks this is asinine, and I can't stand when I hear it. If it hurts, don't do it. Sounds like awesome sagely advice. We're going to talk about why I think that that's crap, and why I think that there are shades of what you need to understand around pain that I'll hopefully help you with a little bit later. But if it hurts, don't do it is a really, really oversimplified way of approaching the body. The body is a complex system, okay, folks? So quitting because of pain, quitting any exercise or athletic or sport. I hear people, oh, I played this sport forever and I loved it. It was such an important thing to me. And then I had this pain and so I quit. And it's like, oh, I'm sad for them that they lost that sport that they love so much. So the question I have for you, if you quit exercising or quit a sport because of pain, is do you plan to ever exercise again? Right? If you quit, let's say, playing tennis or playing golf or a fitness program because you had pain, do you plan on ever exercising or playing a sport again? Well, if the answer is yes, then the problem you're going to have is you haven't learned how to work with it. You haven't learned how to work through it. You don't understand the pain. So if in the face of pain you just walk away and don't do anything, how are you ever going to have the confidence to come back to it? If you can't deal with working out right now with that pain, and your answer is to walk away from it, how are you ever going? In your mind, that pain is going to get more and more and more of a problem the longer you give it time. Okay, so that's my big concern with just walking away with from something just because you have it. You have I consider it a huge opportunity right now, if you are dealing with pain, to understand that pain, to learn how to modify it. I'll get to the solutions later, but to really create a plan, create more understanding, and create a way to work around it and with it. And I have found that for 99% of people, the pain they deal with, the right answer is to modify, learn how to warm up, and work around with that pain better, okay? Only in the case where exercise or their sport is going to actually cause damage, like slipping a disc or tearing a ligament. And those are so rare from typical fitness, okay? That really isn't the kind of stuff that most people are really dealing with. Whoops. Most of the time, what people are dealing with is oh, I have this nagging pain on my back. Well, what is it? Okay, well, it's muscular. It's out here on the right side of my butt. It's high up on my butt. Belt line is. Okay. I can almost guarantee you're not going to do further damage by exercising by that, because that is a bundle of knotted muscles. If we walk away from back pain, what we don't understand is not all back pain is created equal. Now, if you have radiating shooting pain down your leg and a sharp pain in the center of your back on your spine, it's time to go to a doctor, folks. Okay, that's a different ball of wax. But most people's back pain is not spine damage, it's muscular. So I'm a huge fan of don't just walk away. Okay, if you walk away, are you ever going to work out again? And if you plan to work out again, then let's learn from it. Let's get a practitioner who can help you, or a plan, or better understand this thing. The second piece is, what is the worst thing you can do if you have pain? Lose strength and lose mobility or flexibility. If you quit exercising because you have pain, what does your body do? It gets weaker and tighter, okay? You basically took, let's say you have a shoulder injury and you stop working out because your shoulder hurts. Now, everything in your body, all of the muscles of your body got weaker, and every muscle in your body, including your spine, which it cannot be tight, your spine and your hips got tighter. Basically, what you just did is you addressed one small pain and screwed the rest of your body because of that pain. So that's why quitting working out is almost never the right answer, unless the doctor absolutely says, and you have a reason to believe from a x-ray or whatever that says we're going to do further damage if we do this. And that's when you need to trust a smart practitioner, doctor, physician, something with that kind of advice, with real knowledge, not just, oh, it hurts, well, you better walk away. If it hurts, don't do it, okay? So I would also talk about what every athlete knows. Any of you who are athletes out there or were athletes, I think you all know the pain is just something you deal with. I have never talked to somebody who is a runner, who is a golfer, who is a tennis player, who is a constant person who goes to the gym 3-5 days a week, who doesn't deal with pain and aching stuff here and there at all. You know, like, it is life, and the real opportunity with exercise and fitness is learning how to surf through those little things and never let them become so big that you can't continue with what you're doing right now. That's the holy grail of how to age incredibly well. Because if you want to be the most confident, awesomest version of yourself, to age really beautifully, to have tons of freedom because your body is strong and healthy, to be able to do what you want with it because your body's resilient, you're going to surf through these aches and pains. Athletes all know this. Anybody who's committed to a sport, and if you are an athlete out there and you can attest to this, I know when I hiked the Appalachian Trail in 2001, I hiked 2,100 miles. I hurt my neck really badly at one point. I hurt my low back once or twice. I had plantar fasciitis. And now it was a little more of an extreme example because I was hiking a lot, but my God, if I hopped off the trail and missed the most profound experience of my life because I had pain in my foot for a couple weeks, shame on me. Like, what a lame response, you know? I think every athlete knows this, that just surfing through different aches and pains is just part of the life. The alternative, to me, sitting on your ass on the couch or going about life sort of running through the motions, not being in shape, which... Have you ever met anybody who's not in shape who doesn't have aches and pains? The difference is they don't know how to get out of it, and their body is just slowly decaying, all right? I hate to put it bluntly, but that's the reality. If you're not working on being in shape, you ain't getting out of pain. everybody I know who isn't in shape, they got aches and pains. They just don't know how to fix it. So strong and fit people are much more resilient, okay? So that's another piece of reality. And look, maybe 5% of all athletes don't deal with any pain, and they are the lucky of the few, okay? That is absolutely not the norm. So let's talk about the real issue here. And the real issue here is fear. I know that's what gets people stuck. What gets people stuck, and I see it when I talk to clients who deal with pain, they're scared it's going to come back. They're scared they're never going to live without it, and they're so scared to deal with if they had a really bad set of pain, like, you know, a couple weeks of real discomfort. They're so scared that it's going to come back again, and I totally empathize with that. I've been there. I've had through the years, from my teens till now, lots of sports injuries that I've dealt with, from wrestling, water skiing. If you've listened to me, you've heard about them all, right? I totally get it. I totally get how scary it is. But so look, I gotta look at my notes for a second. Sorry. So I really believe if you have pain, it doesn't mean you're always going to have this pain. You're going to need to ask yourself this question. If you've been working, let's say you've been following a workout routine for 2 years, and all of a sudden you injure your neck. Well, why now? What else is going on in your life? What other stressors do you have right now? How are you fatigued? Are you warming up, or have you slacked on that? Did you just get stronger, but you did it too much too fast? Are you working out too much? Are you not honoring your need for rest, right? Look into your life situation, and chances are it's not haphazard why all of a sudden you've had this outbreak of some acute pain where you all of a sudden are like, it's really hard to work out and it hurts every day, yada yada. Like, chances are, if you look at that, you were working out for a long time and now all of a sudden it came. It's not accidental. There's probably other life stuff that was going on at that time. So there's a real clue to how to start healing, is start to de-stress and deal with the other issues there. Is it a better warm-up is called for? Is it you need to honor your body's need for getting more sleep because you're working and then you're hitting the gym, but there's no downtime? Don't give up gym time. Stop staying up all night, right? So there's different opportunities for treatment, for looking at this pain and really understanding it, and knowing that it doesn't necessarily need to come back. If you learn, this is my real piece as an acupuncturist that I would urge you to do, learn from it, learn what it's telling you about your life and about the specific pain, and then you can actually get independent of it and start to have more control and start to be able to do your sport or exercise without being so damn scared of hurting yourself. All right, number 2. So in terms of fear, we're talking about right now. So the big piece, the big real take home is really treatment, and it's to investigate into what bugged your body in the first place. If all of a sudden you're dealing with pain, what bugged your body in the first place? And I have 3 aspects I want you to think about: plan, observe, and tweak. All right. So let's say you have low back pain. You want to plan. You want to think about what warm-up and what stretching routines can I add to start decreasing this back pain. Maybe you go to a PT or a great chiropractor, which I could recommend some in the area if you're local, and you could start to come up with a treatment plan for yourself that involves a couple of small little strength and fitness routines, exercises, and a couple of warm-up, mobility, cool-down, stretching kind of things, okay? So plan, right? Now we want to do step 2. We want to observe. What makes it worse? What makes it better? Now listen, I am not a fan, as I said before, of, oh, if it hurts, don't do it. Look, I have times where I train people and the kettlebell swing at first, they're like, oh, it hurts here. And then we find out, well, your upper back is too tight. So we create this warm up, and your butt is too tight. And we create this stretch. And then we create this better warm up and better stretching routine. And in a week, it's gone. So if they quit, they learn nothing, they're scared of their back, and they believe kettlebells hurt them. If they stick with it and they plan and they observe, now they know, wow, my back hurts when my glutes are tight because I sat all day, and what I need to do is do this warm up, and then I need to stretch my hip flexors and my glutes out. Boom, voila, now we have a treatment plan. Tweak comes into play when something actually is hurting you consistently. And this is partly where having an experienced trainer comes into play, because there are times where I take a client and I say, look, a lot of my clients with aging knees and bad knees, what you'll know if you work out with me is they will squat, but they won't lunge. Everybody in my program squats, because unless you plan to never climb a step or sit down, you gotta squat. I don't care if you're 85, you got to squat. Not everybody has to lunge, even though climbing steps is technically a lunge. Lunges, I find, are a little harder on the knee joint. So some people tweaking what their workout is saying, you'll continue to squat because it's an imperative movement for humans, but you're not going to lunge anymore because it's too much on that knee joint, okay? So that's a time and a place for tweaking. I've got clients with chronic long-term shoulder problems. They just have issues that, like, they're going to be in pain, and they've dealt with them, and they've gotten treatment in, and they have to watch their overhead pressing, but they can row and they can press in front of them till the cows come home. Awesome. Tweak, change, modify. That's when it's totally appropriate. Not just, oh, I did this thing for the first time ever, I'm brand new and I'm not very strong and I'm not very mobile and it hurt, I think I'm gonna stop working out. No, that's crap. I'm talking about an experienced trainer, chiropractor, PT, doctor, physio, whatever, has looked at you, looked at your movement patterns, helped you come up with a plan. This exercise still isn't right for you, let's modify. Awesome, absolutely, I'm all for that. But just because something hurts does not mean you shouldn't do it. A lot of times there's gold in that, and we need to find out, why does this hurt when you do this? How can we plan for a different warm-up and cool down? How can we observe and see what works? And how can we modify or tweak the exercise when it's appropriate, okay? So that's really my fodder, my food for thought for you guys. And look, I think everybody, I mean, look, I'm an acupuncturist. I've been getting acupuncture for 17 years, since about 2000, maybe 2001, so 16 years. I've been getting massage or other body work. I'll go see a chiropractor if I need to. I think everybody ought to have practitioners that are part of their team. Acupuncture, PT, bodywork, doctors, whatever. The only thing I'm going to leave you with is a couple red flags of what I consider to be crap advice from people who probably shouldn't deal with pain, but do. And it's not that these are all bad in and of themselves, but when I hear them, I get concerned that the person recommending this doesn't know a lot about exercise. And so the top 4 that I have right now is, if it hurts, don't do it. Again, I think I just made a claim for why that may or may not be the truth, and a lot of times it's not. Use smaller weights. Use smaller weights is like ding, ding, ding. This is somebody who has not watched how you've moved, hasn't checked your strength, hasn't checked your mobility, and is giving you some off-the-cuff bullshit 10-cent advice. The next one, take 2 weeks off. Just like the last one, take 2 weeks off is about some bullshit advice that maybe not. When taking time off is appropriate is if there's inflammation involved, or if you have just overworked and you need to take a rest so that your body can actually heal and loosen up to get back at it. But arbitrarily saying go lighter and take rest, maybe not. And I am concerned about practitioners and doctors out there who give advice like this, who have never even, if a doctor hasn't looked at you move and they're giving that advice, it's probably completely arbitrary. And I'm not going to tell you not to do what a doctor says. I can't do that. You need to do what your doctor says. I will just tell you my observation of that is really questionable advice, okay? And lastly, pick a safer exercise. I mean, unless you're base jumping off of mountains, I'm not sure that that's the best advice in the world. I don't know what safe is. I mean, safe maybe water aerobics or Zumba, but pick safer advice is sort of like a throwaway. I would stick to get practitioners on your team if you have specific pain who are really great and really understand the body and who are going to take time to look at your movement patterns, see how you move, and help you. And if you ever do an x-ray or a CAT scan or something's done and they find pain, they find something needs to be taken care of, you absolutely listen to the advice. But get practitioners who can help you, who are going to listen and look and observe and help you come up with a better treatment plan, not just give you throwaway advice because it sounds like some good answer. All right, I gotta wrap it up and go pick up my son. Hopefully this was useful. I'm here for any questions. As always, if you have a specific pain that you need treated, please go to a doctor, a physician, a chiropractor, a PT, somebody who knows what they're doing. Look for somebody who really understands exercise and shows you that their answers have a level of intelligence and sophistication to it, and make a better treatment plan and observe and tweak. And I just want to take away the fear and the anxiety around pain, because it doesn't need to stop you from exercise or playing your favorite sport. Hopefully it's just a thing that you have to work through that will help you get to a better place. All right, thanks so much. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, give it a like, share it with friends, and I'll catch you next time.